chance to really do what I want to do. We get done and I feel pretty comfortable with it, and he looks at me and he goes, so how'd you feel about that one? I said, I felt really good, Clint. He goes, you felt it was good? And yeah. He goes, you felt you had the good preparation? I said, yeah. He goes, and you feel like you did a fine job? I go, yeah. And he goes, you feel like that's the job you want? And I said, yeah. And he looks over at he looks over at Buddy, he goes, print the first one, and walks away.
I remember when we did that scene in the car. Frightening. I think it was shot on a Sunday. We're up in San Francisco, with those hills. Clint got in the car and did the driving. I thought, well, he won't go too fast. He's not a stunt driver, Well, man alive, I was scared out of my wits, because when we started down that thing back and forth, he was roaring down that thing, and I thought, good grief, if anybody steps out in front of us, they're a goner, He really handled the car well. I think he got a big kick out of, probably he knew he was scaring the living lights out of me, I think he got a big kick out of that.
That scene in the elevator was very much me and Clint with Uzis filled with marbles being shot. And when those marbles came bashing in to that elevator, I was genuinely, seriously frightened. And Clint knew it, but it was great for the scene because he truly had to comfort me. I mean, I was freaking out a little bit because it was deafening. It was really frightening, and he really threw me down. I mean, we really just boom onto that floor of that elevator. But it's not so bad to have, Clint Eastwood falling on top of you in an elevator. So.
When I got Magnum Force, what we did do a little bit was to try to make him a little more human, that he gets involved with another side, another aspect of his life, which is the feminine side, getting to meet somebody who was, who could in some ways suggest that he wasn't all cop, that there was another human side to him.
Hi.
Oh, hi. What's your name?
Sunny. I've been living here almost 6 months now. It's funny, I've never met you before.
Oh, well, I work a lot.
I know. You're the cop who lives upstairs.
That's right.
Mind if I ask you a question?
Oh, go ahead.
What does a girl have to do to go to bed with you?
Try knocking on the door?
Clint would get these letters, and he would take them very seriously. They were market research, and this is stuff. And so he got a bunch of letters from Asian women who wanted to have affairs with him. So he got enough letters, and they wanted to have, absolutely affairs that were not involving any romance or anything like this. And they loved the idea of him as Dirty Harry, meeting Dirty Harry, and having a fling. A hot thing right there and going away. And so he says, we got to do something about this. This is a segment of the population talking. This is our audience. So put me having an affair with some girl down somewhere in there that's in the building. And just stick it in there, have it of no consequence, because they don't want it to be of any consequence, And so that's why that's in there. Because Clint is, paying attention to, to his audience, to his market.
The first scene I shot with Clint was a walk talk on the pier. They do a walk and talk, and they say, then we'll do something else, and then they go to another scene. And when they saw the dailies, they came back and said, you gave him this look, and we have to know what happened, the unseen scene. We have to know. So then we tried to do the unseen scene, which wasn't written. And we sat down at a bar and did this improvisation over beers, and I was no good, and he was wonderful, because he'd played the man before, and I didn't know who my girl was yet. So then I took a pass at what the happenings might have been in the unseen scene, and the very last day of shooting, we shot that scene at Coit Towers. And he said to me, whichever one works the best will be the one that's in the movie.
What do you want to be a cop for, anyway? Why aren't you married and having kids like everybody else?
Why aren't you?
Nobody in their right mind's asking.
Coitus interruptus.
I beg your pardon?
Oh, Coit Tower. It's vaguely phallic, don't you think?
I never thought of it that way.
I make up names for things. For instance, you are Cold Bold Callahan with his great big 44. Every other cop in this city is satisfied with a 38 or 357. What do you have to carry that cannon for?
So I hit what I aim at, that's why. 357's a good weapon, but I've seen 38s careen off windshield. No good in a city like this.
I see. So it's for the penetration.
Does everything have a sexual connotation with you?
Only sometimes.
Want to go have a few beers?
Yes, there was definitely a romantic tension between my character and Dirty Harry in the film, and it was a slight departure.
Let me ask you something, Miss Walker.
Sam,
Sam, do you like cops?
as long as they're not in my rearview mirror, why?
Well, I just wondered what we're supposed to be talking about here, other than the damage to the camera.
Oh no, I'm willing to let the insurance company deal with that, and I think I can be persuaded to drop the lawsuit, but I want something in return.
Oh. What would that be?
I want your story. But it only would go so far, clearly. So it was, Dirty Harry can only go so far with the ladies. I mean, but it was very much in the script that they clearly had a shine for one another, and that they made each other, it was that kind of, love-hate situation that, clearly turns to
Big city, big news.
something sexy.
Had to prove myself all over again.
Have you succeeded?
Somewhat. But apparently not with you. I guess I shouldn't complain. At least you stayed for dinner this time.
There was a scene that was originally in the script with kind of almost like a morning after. He was leaving my apartment. Because I think I was supposed to be in pajamas or something. And it was just like a kiss at the door, in the doorway, and him getting in his car and driving off. And that was in the script for a while, and then that went away.
So, this is what Ackerman must have meant by cooperating with the press. It must have been one of those in-depth interviews.
Well, I think the romance of Dirty Harry was not in having a love affair or a great romance with a female along the way. I think the romance was the fact that he would exert himself to this degree and for somebody he didn't even know.
Yeah.
Harry, this is Briggs. Are you alone?
No, as a matter of fact, I'm entertaining a young lady friend.
Well, put your pants back on, Callahan, and come down to the city morgue as fast as you can.
There was just no time for that. Usually there was a case going on, and so there wasn't time for romance.
Good afternoon.
Take your goddamn time about it. Hey, close that door! All right, what's in there?
Overseas charts, flight plans.
Set it down. All right, turn around. Stay there. All right, turn out here. Here. Now get in there. It's all yours, Dan. All right, get this thing up. Where to? You get us up. I'll tell you where to when we're up.
You want to put us in takeoff position? Huh?